Welcome to the Heroine Show. My name is Reverend Blessing Ajayi. I'm the host today. Today, I want to welcome my wonderful heroines in the house today. We have here Heroine Mokshi. How are you?
I'm good. Good to have me here in this show.
Heroine Adejishola. How are you?
I'm well. Hi, everyone. Good to be here.
I know you look very great today. I know we're excited coming here today. And like we know we have a wonderful guest in our midst today. Are we happy to have a first guest in the Heroine Show?
Absolutely.
That's very interesting. So we have the Honorable, the most humble lady I will ever say I have known. My sister, actually from another mother for a long time now. She's a forgiveness coach. In fact, she expresses the characteristic of a virtuous woman by her lifestyle. You know, she's an advocate. She does a lot of things in the community. We have the privilege here to have her as the coach of forgiveness. How are you?
I am good. Thank you so much for having me.
So thank you for coming. I know we're going to give you a little minute to just introduce yourself more so that our audience can know who you are.
Sure. Okay. Hi, I am Deborah Wright, life coach and forgiveness facilitator, helping women to acknowledge, to release, and to be empowered. As a life coach, I have helped women to go from hurt to hope, and also I am a best-selling author. I just kind of missed my words there for a moment. But I'm a best-selling author, and I'm also I have a not-for-profit that's called Upward Springs that helps women to be adjusted into society, struggling with issues. We're there to help you in the community. So that's who I am. Oh, and I'm also a wife, mother, and grandmother.
Of course.
Welcome.
You're welcome. We are happy to have you here today. It's a wonderful day. As you all know, the topic we are having now is a very important topic, the power of forgiveness. Everybody is negligent of this topic, actually. No matter how good you are, no matter how perfect you are, we have to learn to be informed, to be encouraged on how to apply this word in our lives and into the lives of people. So today, I want to say that our topic is forgiveness, the power of forgiveness, which you know, forgiveness is the art of letting go of resentment, letting go of resentment, anger, bitterness towards someone who has wronged you or hurt you terribly, I mean, meaning that you might have been hurt, but forgiveness is a command, even in the Bible. So today I want to go to each and every one of us. First of all, I will start with our Royal Highness, Heroine Adejishola, to say that, what do you understand by power of forgiveness?
Wow, it's a very deep topic. Very deep. When I think about forgiveness, I want to throw something fun. When you don't forgive, it's like drinking poison and expecting somebody else to die or fall sick. So, but having said that, forgiveness is personal, and it's a journey. And you really need to be intentional, be ready to do it. So, but is it better to do it or not to do it? Absolutely better to do it, because like I said, you don't want to be drinking that poison.
That's right.
Okay, Moxie, please tell us about what you understand by forgiveness, the power of forgiveness.
Thank you, Reverend Blessing, Heroine, for this event, this show. Forgiveness, I think, brings kind of peace if you let it go. If you let go of the resentment, the hurt, it'll bring peace to you. It'll help you to move on in life. That is so important for your peace of mind, for your physical and mental health. That's what I feel.
Thank you so much. But yeah, it helps you to have peace, to have to live without grudges. Thank you so much for that. And I want to welcome our coach today, Coach Deborah. Please tell us more about this.
So both ladies touched on topics that are very important, right? I loved what you said about, drinking poison, thinking that the other person is going to die. So basically, that's what we do. If we can't let go of the hurt and the pain, we're actually killing ourselves, because we are the ones that are hurt. One of the things that people don't realize is that when you don't forgive, you are allowing that person to take space. Like I like to call it real estate. Your mind is very expensive real estate. And when we don't forgive, we are crowding that real estate, and we're not able to focus. We're not able to let go of pain. So why do you want to do that? Because when you're so filled with all of those things in your mind, you're not free to speak. You're not free to be yourself, and you're not free to be happy. To be honestly, you're not. I could look at people that I have known that have held grudges. One of the things that people don't realize is that when you hold on to grudges, you can make yourself so sick, right? It is proven by medicine or the medical community that when you hold on to the pain that someone has done to you, it's not just what people has done to you. It's actually what you've done to yourself, because there's a lot of things that we do and we are so embarrassed by it and we can't forgive ourselves. What these things do, it actually causes people to become ill. There's high blood pressure. I like to say, if you just let me go just a little bit, I love to say that unforgiveness has friends. It has friends. The friends of unforgiveness is illness. That's one of them. There's anxiety. There's fear. There is, the part where you can't even do anything. You become, disabled, sort of. Not that you can't walk or anything, but your body, your mind is disabled. So the friends that unforgiveness comes with, it actually cripples you. So now why would you want to walk around being crippled? You don't. So you need to be able to let it go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I know this topic is very, very critical, because trust me, there have been a point in time in everyone's life you don't want to let go.
That's right.
You live with it, eat with it, cry in it, and continue in that pressure. But we have all realized that it's not the best for health, for our mental state. As a human being, no, it's not good. Nobody should keep you in that situation. So I know that while doing that, there is a personal forgiveness, and there is also forgiving others. So I want to focus on the coach right now to tell us. I want you to differentiate these two and what is the benefit for doing that?
So forgiving yourself for the things that you have done. So, in the life of a woman, I'm speaking about women right now. In the life of women, it's a topic that nobody wants to talk about because it's like an elephant in the room. It's abortion. right? It's an abortion. When a woman has an abortion, whatever the reasons are that she's had that abortion, that thing stays on her mind. It doesn't matter if she did it for whatever reasons. It stays on your mind. And then you live with that thought, I did something wrong. I did this. Don't matter what anybody tell you. That woman will still feel something in her heart because it doesn't sometimes happen right away. But as you get older, you start thinking about that child that you aborted, and that thing will play on your mind. And it will cause you stress. And sometimes because of that abortion, maybe you're having trouble having a child. And then what do? You'd be like, oh my God, maybe because I did this, that's why I can't have a baby.
I get it.
Right? That is a topic that not a lot of people want to talk about. You know, yeah, you can have your abortion, that's up to you. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, later down in your life, the guilt of it comes back to you. So that is something that you have to forgive yourself for, right? So when you're going through your struggles and you're going through that pain, maybe you're trying to have a child and you keep losing that child, those thoughts come back to you, right? And it tells you, well, because you did so and so, that's why you can't have a child. So in that instance, you need to be able to acknowledge that pain. Acknowledge it. If you don't acknowledge it, you're not able to let it go. Acknowledging is the first step. And then you're going to release that pain. No matter how you release it, sometimes you release it by journaling, you release it by praying, you release it by talking to someone, but you have to release that pain in order for you to heal. And then once you release that pain, you've walked through that journey and you allow yourself to let it go, then now you're empowered to be able to move on in life. That's one step. So that's you as an individual forgiving yourself.
Okay.
Now, it might be where, in my case, I went through a divorce. I was married for 25 years. 5 children, 2 died pretty young, and then I have my 3 kids. And after 25 years, my kids are, my daughter was 20 or 21, and my boys were, right behind her. So 19 and 18, I believe. And here we are going through a divorce. Jeez, I was so mad. It's not that you don't realize that there's issues in your marriage, right? We all have issues in our marriages. But at the point where it came that my marriage was broken down, and here I got married at 21, so I was 46 years old going through marriage, going through a divorce. So that's hard. That's hard. And I had to learn to forgive this gentleman who I'd given my heart, my life to. I had to forgive him. It wasn't easy. But I left this country. I know I shared this with Reverend Besson already. I left Canada and I went back to my homeland for 14 months. And it was in those times that I learned how to forgive because I was by myself. I left my children, I left my family, I left everybody, and I went by myself. I'd never lived alone, so I went and I got an apartment by myself back in my country. I cried so many nights because I was lonely. I had nobody there, but what I had was myself, my thoughts, and I had God, so that I could talk and I could cry, I could journal, I could write all those things. And it was in those times that I was able to release that pain. So with the release of that pain, ladies, I started to blossom. The dark clouds around me started to shift. It's like that butterfly, right? I went into that. I ate, I took all the stuff from here and I was dealing with. But when I got there, I was in that cocoon stage, just me and God by myself, and able to just sit there and with my thoughts and with prayer and with crying and everything. And finally, the feelers of the butterfly started to peep out, right? And then here I was. I got my wings. And then I saw myself in a different light. I didn't look like, I wasn't like this, bent. I was now flourishing and being able to dress up, lose weight, and just be happy. So forgiveness is so important to your life. Don't let anybody tell you it's not important. And if I can say this last point, when you forgive, you are so free now to live. You're free to do the things that you need to do. I'm empowered now. That's why I do what I do, because of the road I walked through. And so I would tell anybody, let it go.
You know, I have a nagging question. Please
Go
permit
ahead.
me.
No, go ahead.
You know, of all topics, why be a forgiveness coach? And I know that you kind of alluded to it, but was this when you actually started? Or was it something because I don't imagine being a forgiveness coach.
Well, yeah. This came as a result of, I didn't set out to this. So there's a little story I like to share, is that when I came back, actually while I was in Trinidad and Tobago, people would always stop me. Because I'm friendly, right? I'm generally friendly. People would always stop me and they would be talking to me and they would be, they would tell me their problems. I guess I have that face. They would tell me their problems and we would talk. And then I was in a couple of churches. And then when they say, would you speak? I always realized that my topic was forgiveness. I did not even understand that. My topics, when I listen back to all my speaking engagements, forgiveness was one of my topics. And then I started, training to be a coach. But I did not choose forgiveness. Forgiveness chose me.
Yeah.
It chose me.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it chose me.
Yeah, if I want to contribute on that, is that, do you know that these are simple things people call simple that is not identified? Because every human being, is it a marriage, is it in any establishment, there is this grumbling and grudges of guilt and anger that come from either I will not let go, you did this to me, you did that. Marriage himself, it was a forgiveness code to keep hammering and say, look, woman, I know you're not happy. I know you're holding grudges. Why don't you let go? Somebody has to hold your hand to tell you that, look, you're not there. Look, I've been there. Especially we women. We have been battered, we have been abused, we have been mocked, we have been humiliated in different ways. Some are still living by it, living in it, crying every day. So I think that you're a unique coach. As long as I'm concerned, you're a unique coach in choosing that identity. And I know that this forgiveness coach have already taken you far. I think she used to have this thing you organize this, right?
I've organized retreat. So last year was my first big retreat, and I did that in Trinidad and Tobago. Actually did it in Tobago. And this year, May 2nd to the 7th, will be my second retreat. And the women there were so happy. One of the things that, when you do something and you do it right, and God is the one that's put it in your heart, you get results. That I sent you a video the other day of a young woman that did an interview with me. And she was one of the women that was at the retreat. And when she left that retreat, she said to me, she said, Deborah, by you obeying God to come and do this retreat is the result of me having a talk show in Tobago.
Wow.
So now she's doing it on 2 channels. She started with 1 channel. A few days ago, she told me I'm doing it on 2.
Wow.
So
that's so great.
Yeah.
That's so great. Why am I saying that? This resentment makes you like, some people before they cry. I remember, they cry and cry. That pain inside, you have to release that tear. And if someone that understands what forgiveness really does for one, just you need a pat hand. Say, don't worry. Let go. Let go is not by forgetting the situation, but just let it go and have peace. So Mokshi, come to you before we go to break. Please I want you to look at this and tell us your opinion.
You know what, actually, everybody was talking about forgiveness and the effects it has on our health, mentally and physically. So personally, I believe that it's very important for us, if we are going through that hurt, we realize it, we admit that we are hurt, and then going through those feelings and moving on. That's the important part. You feel it, and then you go through the process of healing and then move on. That is important. That's what forgiving is. It gives you ultimately a peace of mind.
Thank you so much. This is very awesome. Like, I love the fact that you said accept it, identify it, acknowledge it. It's very important. Sometimes we don't acknowledge that we are hurt. Say it the way you are hurt. Express it. And that's why we say that in this table, we talk about it and we practice it. We apply it. I know every day 1 or 2 persons may offend you. Please, from here, forgive them. Even Jesus Christ said that, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing.
And it's not easy.
No,
I know.
No.
It's not easy.
We need grace and prayer. So, our viewers, we are going for a break right now. You know the section, forgive. No matter how it hurts, whether personal or the one you have to forgive others, it is very important. It's a mandate, it's a command. The word of God says it's a command. We have to let go. We'll see you. Stay tuned, don't go. We are back from the break, and as we know, forgiveness today is the key of our discussion. And it can be emotional sometimes. That's why we are now in our critical moments where we're going to share some impactful stories. Very meaningful story that may touch the heart. And I'm blessed with my heroines here. They are ready with the coach. Yay! Clap for yourself. Today, you're going to be in school. That you're going to teach the students, so that from this table, they will forgive everybody. So, our critical moment now, we're going to dive into the emotional aspect of holding into past hurts. I know, even as I'm speaking now, I know some of you will say, no, I don't think I could. But you have to, because it's commanded. Now we're encouraging from this table that please forgive. Today, I want to start from Heroine Mokshi. Critical moment. Please share us a moment that you have went through past hurts, and how do you handle it?
Okay, I'll share a story, a real life story. You know what? When we get married, move into a family, you meet your in-laws. They're very nice in the beginning, but when you start moving in, living with them, then you see a different attitude in day-to-day life, and that's very practical. We have seen most of the people will share the same experiences. Your mother-in-law will be nagging on certain things. Your in-laws would not be very happy with the way you live your life, because you obviously moved from another family. You have different customs, different traditions that you've been following, and here you are in a new family with no support, nagging, finding faults in you. So when you are young, you feel that, you know what, you would rather stay away from them. You would like to move on in life. But when I look back now, we moved on. Obviously, we start our family, we have our own children, we move on in our life. So when I look back, when I see that, I personally feel that that was not nagging. They were just trying to help us understand how to adjust in this new family.
You're such a good person.
I know. That's maturity.
Okay, I think maturity comes to that.
Here when we talk about maturity, here's the maturity. And then you forgive. Then you forgive the nagging and the resentment, the feeling of revenge that you had. Then you feel that, no, time to move on. That was an experience. It's better to forgive and have peace of mind and have a beautiful relationship that you have with the whole family.
Sometimes does it remind you back when you are in the midst of these people it reminds you back. How do you deal with it? You know, past hurts.
Yes.
Not past hurts. You've moved on, and then you move back again. You see the same people.
Yes.
How do we take care of them?
So it's very important now. When you have that positive mindset where you're looking for positive relationship with your family and relatives, and when you forgive them for what they have done to you, because at that time you felt hurt, you felt that resentment, you felt that you want to give a revenge to them. But when you move on in life with your family, with your experiences, you learn, you become a mature person, then you realize that no, it's not worth it. It's better to have a cordial relationship with your family and relatives. So that's what I feel personally. That's my experience. That forgiveness plays a very important role. What do you say, Coach? In this?
Excuse me, sorry, guys.
So,
I agree with you. Maturity also brings us wisdom.
Yes.
You know,
Well said.
yeah, it brings us wisdom because when you're young, I mean, I'm sure most of us have gone through it with our in-laws. You know, when you're younger, they're trying to tell you what to do, how to raise your children, and all of that stuff. Trust me, sometimes I'm guilty of it too. Okay, see what I'm saying? I am guilty of it sometimes because I'm trying to say to my son, "Why are you doing so and so?" It's like, "Oh." You know, but yeah, it's true. You know, I don't do it very often, but sometimes I see little things and I'm trying to tell them. But you know, we have to learn to let them make their own mistakes, and that's fine, right? But I agree with you. You know, those things can cause a lot of resentment because you're your person. You and your spouse are your own people, and you have different values and goals for your family. So when somebody else is trying to control your narrative or control you, that you resent that. And it's okay to be resentful. I mean, we just don't have to be rude. Do you know what I'm saying? But being resentful is fine because
so use that moment to tell us another story of that kind of hurt critically, and you are able to handle it, and you bring back peace into the situation. Remember, critical moment, the situation, the victory.
Yeah. This better stay here. You know?
No, sorry, it's not staying.
I'm okay. You know, I remember, and you know, because Mochi started on that topic of in-laws, I remember, you know, going through my struggles, and my daughter, I think she was 2, and so she wasn't potty trained. Now, nobody says you have to potty train your child based on everybody else's timetable. It's your child, right? It's your family, it's your house. And I remember, you know, my mother-in-law at the time, she was looking after some children. And she was saying, you know, when she comes over, you know, she would come over and she'd be like, "Oh, how come your daughter isn't potty trained? This one's potty trained already. I've potty trained this one and I've potty trained that one." And I'm like, she's not potty trained. It's my child. But I'm not being rude. But inside of me, I'm angry because it's like, why are you trying to compare me to what you're doing? This is my child, and I'm going to take her on her time, not your timetable. And for me, as a young mother, because that was my first child, that was very, very difficult, you know? And I was resentful because it's like, you don't live here. You're just visiting and you're trying to tell me what to do. It was not pretty. But eventually, you know, I got past it because I'm the person, I don't sit down and take it for too long. I will just go past it and I will get back to being very nice and very open and everything like that. But at the moment, for a moment, because it wasn't just one time, for a little while there, I was very frustrated. But I was able to let it go eventually.
So that was a very deep hurt for you as at then.
Yes.
You were very young then.
Yeah, I was 25, I believe.
And how will you have handled that now if you should be your young self?
My young self? I don't know, girl. I don't know.
I like that.
I don't know. I don't know. You know.
Okay.
It happened. Well, I don't know.
Okay, now I want to throw it out there. If you should be table turn, how would you have handled that? You will say the same thing, right?
Well, you know what? I One of the things I've learned from being younger, married, and having children is what not to do. Because right now, I have a almost 3-year-old granddaughter. Her mom's really good with her. My granddaughter is wanting to go to that period where she's starting to potty train. But because of their circumstances right about now, she wants to wait a little bit because of circumstances. I don't say anything. I leave it alone because I know she already has her struggles of whatever's happening in her life, and I just leave her alone. I think, as a mother, I'm just going to, because what I've experienced, I let them be.
Okay.
I let my children be. Yeah.
Okay, that's very important. But looking at it, on my perspective, I know I don't have grandchildren yet, but I know that most of the things that might make us feel upset, sometimes when you're matured, it means nothing to you, right? Yeah. And that's why when you see the young people react, I'm like, what's this? Right? So I think maturity will also help in how to handle the situations and not to hold grudges on everything, And you know what? That's why we are here. So we have to let them know that, life is very simple. Yeah. So, Heroine Adeshola, how are you?
Good, good.
I want you to throw a wonderful shoot on this lady here.
It's, the conversation has been really, really enlightening. And I really think that maturity has a lot to do with being able to forgive, really. Because my young self, I was just shaking my head. But I do want to quote share some quotes. Mahatma Gandhi, he said, forgiveness is not an act of weakness, but of strength. Because it takes a lot, really, to forgive, whether we like it or not. And then Louis B. Smith, he said, to forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that prisoner was you.
Yeah.
You're setting yourself free by forgiving. There's one more I want to share before I tell a very funny story. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. That's Mahatma Gandhi again.
Yes.
When I was little, I was living with my uncle. And because I read the Bible, and the Bible says you can forgive 7 times, 7 times, I actually opened a book. And when one of my nieces does something wrong to me, I'll put 1 wrong.
Keep counting.
2 wrong. And then it got to a stage, I'm like, I'm just wasting my time. And that was me as a kid. I was between, I believe, 13 and 15. And I'm like, actually 9 and 13. I had a book that I'm putting 1. Okay, she wronged me 1. She wronged me 2. So that when it's 7 times 7, I'll be able to say, now I can't forgive you anymore. Can you imagine? Actually, I was very, very impressive as a kid.
Remember, we want you to say a story of how you've been hurt and how you take care of it.
Oh, yes, but I just wanted to throw that in.
Okay.
Talking about a story, this lady, I like her very much, much younger than me. A situation happened, and when the situation happened, somebody was rude to me right in her presence, and she came to me and hugged me and knelt down. Our culture, when you're, kind of begging somebody that is older than you, they'll kneel down. And she knelt down and hugged me and said she's so sorry. She's the one that caused this to happen to me. But she saw the way I took it. I said, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Because it didn't matter. Because I'm matured now, right? It didn't matter. But what really pained me was that when she was retelling the story, it wasn't the real story anymore. It was about that I overreacted. When she was actually begging me, and she saw how I reacted, and she said it to my face. That's the worst part, right? She literally lied about the situation in front of me to other people. And I looked at the situation, but I realized that she's done something like that before. right? This is somebody that's hurt me before, and I kind of let go and say, to her is human, to forgive is divine. Who am I? I always ask for forgiveness from God. So what's the big deal? But she did it again. But when it happened, I'm like, it's now a character. She's like that. So I just let it go. Again, it's all about maturity. If it was my younger self, probably I'll get a big paper and say 1, 2.
And you can never get the complete number. That's for sure.
You can, because eventually you'll be frustrated. Because why am I wasting my time?
It's uncountable because they will keep offending
That's the
you.
thing.
So that is why they say that, forgiveness, when somebody hurt you, there is a wound inside of you. Talking about sharing a story, critical moment, and this I'm praying, like I pray God, please. But I put my energy, instead of focusing on who made that comment on me, what I focus is the act to accomplish the fact that that comment cannot dwell in me. Okay, so why am I saying this? Because when somebody say, I don't think I need you because I have this from me, I have this from me. This very comment hurt me from nowhere. Somebody telling you, okay, I don't think I need you for anything because I have somebody here, I have everything. This one, if I want this, I want that, fine. But it's a small word, right? And I'm like, okay, even if I've helped you before, you don't need me anymore because you got everything I have that I could have given you. All right? You know what? So what am I saying? That sometimes hurt you might not even hurt somebody. But some people that loudly talks can actually be offending you 1,001 times. But that kind of comment is not a joke. All right? So you don't need anything from me. I mean nothing to you. Really? So little things like it can hurt. That hurts me. I won't lie to you. That hurts very well. It hurts.
So how did you get over it?
That's what I'm saying. How do I get over it is that I handle it maturely. But sometimes the voice ring. So that's where it's hard to release. You understand? When that voice ring, it just makes you angry. But then because of maturity, you put the emphasis not in anger, in making sure that you're better off. All right? Somebody don't really need anything from you, really? So you have to be more effective for yourself. This is not coming from my family. It's coming from like friend that you've been useful to before and many times. Maybe because you said no one time. Because you said no one time, you see their real color.
Oh, yeah.
Human being. Yeah. So it happened to so many people. But I don't take it personally because now I say, okay, I have to draw my boundary. In the sense that why is talking about bringing us to the last topic that we just discussed. Say no, right? So the power of saying no. I said, okay, fine. So if I have said yes many times, I wouldn't have held this, right? But hearing this, fine. That means that, okay, I need to do something for myself.
I want to throw something in there. People hurt, and my younger self maybe would not have forgiven, especially when they don't apologize. How do you navigate that?
So you have to be willing to not get that apology and still be able to let it go.
And this is for the people. This is not for me, just so you know.
Yes. You have to be willing to accept that you will never get that apology. And remember, when you're forgiving someone, you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you. It's for you, not for the other person. It's for you. As was said earlier, you're forgiving a prisoner. That prisoner is you. Because when you hold on to all that pain and all that hurt, that person that has hurt you is walking around enjoying life. They forgot that they hurt you, but you are stewing. Who's hurting? you.
Okay, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
You want to
and I
say
wanted
something?
Yeah, I just wanted to add a small piece here. I think it's important that if you're forgiving, don't forget karma is there.
Okay.
What you put out comes back to you.
Yes. So that's very important. So that's why we are human. No, anybody at all, we are human. So that's the grace of God coming to us to say, forgive and forget. Forgive and forget. On a human basis, they say, when you forgive, you cannot forget. Yes, we know. But we have to learn to let go and let it off our mind. Let it go. Don't bring it back. So it's very important that, on rounding the critical section, sharing our stories, it hurts. It hurts so badly. There are many things, how do we handle situation in marriage? For me, how I do handle it is in the sense that Jesus Christ said, forgive them for they do not know what they are doing.
Yeah, but he didn't say forget though.
No.
Okay.
So they forget part, because I'm not saying don't forget, but you don't want to forget and then this same person keeps hurting you and hurting you. You gotta protect your emotions yourself.
Okay, how do you
I don't know what the
Okay,
coach
so
said.
let me say that, if you don't forget, of course you will remember, but it shouldn't be a hurt anymore.
No, it
because
won't
it
hurt.
has been healed.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
wound should be
Yeah.
healed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like a cut on your body,
Yeah.
and you just cover it. It's not healed. If it's healed, the each time they bring it back, you just laugh at it.
Yeah.
So in so many situations, how we were able to keep relationship is by healing them and just forget about it. We have to forget.
Can I just share something? The only person that can forget is God. As human beings, we never forget.
Okay, it comes, but okay. Even
Yeah.
forgetting meaning that you zoom your mind even when you come. I remember, because if you don't forget and you still have that hurt in
didn't
you,
forget.
No, it's not hot
but
anymore.
sometimes
hurting.
okay.
It's not hot
That means
anymore.
it has healed.
It has healed,
But
because
you still recall. I mean, it's
Yes.
no, you
1001.
can't.
What kind of, you say, okay, these days you do me this,
No,
these
no,
days
no,
you do me.
no, not
But
like
we
that.
don't forget.
No,
That's
it's,
true.
It's like history. It's like
It's history.
You need the history to help you, know how to move
move
forward
on.
in
Yeah.
life.
And
So yeah,
I agree. So that's exactly where I am. I forgot. I have forgiven.
that forgetting is still
No,
coming
I
back.
forgive. No.
Yeah,
It doesn't
I
hurt me
understand where you're
anymore.
coming from.
Doesn't
Okay.
hurt me anymore. I have forgiven to the point where I am now okay. I speak to my ex-husband. I speak to his wife. I have no problem with that. People say, you did what? I'm like, yeah, I went to their house. Because it doesn't hurt me anymore.
Yeah.
I am okay.
you're over it.
I'm over that. But, I remember everything. How could I ever forget?
No.
You spend a lot of time with that person and you don't forget. Can I just share one story
Yeah,
and
please do.
then we can move on?
Do.
So when I was in high school, there was this young woman. Oh, she was a student, a classmate. She was so mean. Oh my God, she was mean. And she would bug me because, I'm an African girl. Well, Trinidad African girl. I've got thick lips. Okay?
Beautiful.
Beautiful thick lips. Yeah, people will pay money to get my lips, girl.
Darling,
Yes.
it's
got it.
full.
And so she bothered me to the point where one day she did it one too many times and I fought like a banshee. And my father, who, my God, is a pastor, bless his soul, he heard me cussing, I come from a Christian house. My father is a pastor. I was swearing and carrying on, but I beat that girl. Do you know that her and I are still friends today? We became friends after that fight.
After you stood up for yourself.
Yes. We became friends, and it's how many years now? I went back to Trinidad and I went to her home. We had the most beautiful time. You have to be able to let go. I didn't forget, but I choose to lay it down, and we are good friends
on.
now.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you
You
so
know?
much. That's a very great discussion in this section. Like we know, viewers, you have to forgive. As we agree, forget also. Please don't recount. Yeah, though my sister said it's history, okay, fine. But look, for us to move on, to be able to build relationship, for us to be able to establish ourselves and be free and be able to be productive, proactive, and effective, we have to free our minds so that we can think and be able to do what we ought to do. And, you know, we are going for a break right now. Hello viewers, welcome back to the Heroine Show. As you know, this section we're going to celebrate the hero, the heroine, and the heroes in our community, in our lives, in the nation. Wherever you find them, mention them, we celebrate them. So today we have a wonderful hero in our midst. We happen to have the heroine of the week in our midst, which is our guest. Is our guest today, and her name is Deborah Wright. Deborah Wright, Deborah Wright, Deborah Wright. You're welcome. It's a privilege.
Congratulations.
It's a privilege to have you, to have Deborah in our midst as our guest today. Can we give Deborah a handshake? A handshake. Thank you so much, all the way from Ajas to this show, Heroine. We honor you. We recognize everything you're doing. We are happy. You know, I got your back, right?
I know.
I know you know I got your back. So thank you so much for coming. You are the heroine of this week. Thank you so much. So as we know, Deborah is a forgiveness coach. She's an advocate. I know you advocate for women. You advocate for forgiveness. Forgiveness, like I say, is a special career that you have chosen to advocate. And it's healing a lot of homes, a lot of women hearts, you know, are broken. And I know you have gone through a lot in your lives in handling forgiveness and showing love, you know, also keeping fit, helping the community, everybody. Please tell us more about that.
Especially, how does it feel to be the heroine of the week?
Oh, it's an honor. It's such an honor to be the heroine of the week. Oh, thank you, ladies. I really, truly appreciate that. And to your question, I feel privileged and blessed to be able to help facilitate forgiveness. Because when I was going through my journey, I didn't have anybody. I did this on my own, you know? So being able to guide people through the journey and allowing them to see that there is hope and that, you know, tomorrow is a brighter day, that gives me peace, it gives me joy. And, you know, it just elevates, it just helps to elevate, you know, what I'm doing. It helps to show people that you can recover from the situations that you've been in. You went through a divorce or you went through a separation. This doesn't have to be your end. This could be something that will take you. Forgiveness is that journey that will take you from here, from broken to blessed.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being that person, and that person that we'll all look up to, being able to let go, be able to release it, no matter how that pain is, and still, I mean, restore back those lost time, lost glory, lost blessing. Bring it back and build it. Today you are who you are because you were able to let go. Celebrate her in the house today. We celebrate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. To meet you and have you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We love you. Yeah. So to the viewers there, you know, thank you so much for this section. As we move forward, we're going to talk about how do we let this hurt entirely away from us. You know, we discuss about forgiveness, how it leads us to emotional freedom and personal growth. Can you mention a certain time where I want to direct this to our coach, where the successes, I know you mentioned it before, the successes that has come ever since you let go, the confidence, the laughter, the peace of mind, so that our viewers can know the benefits.
So once I let go of the pain of what I went through, there was a point where I saw myself just smiling. And that was something I wasn't able to do for a while. Everybody would say, "What's wrong with Dad?" My face was sad. And then I was still away, and I would take pictures and I'd send it home to my family. They'd be like, "Girl, you look so good. You're blossoming." And, in the Caribbean, it's where the guys, they love to catcall you. And for a while, nobody was doing that. But then when I started to exude that self-confidence, and I started to exude, like, beauty was coming out, that I got that beauty for ashes. People were like, everywhere I would be walking down the street and somebody is calling me or somebody is saying something to me. And it was in those moments that I realized that something had changed within me, and that what I had gone through had now birthed this person, where I am able to now navigate the ups and the downs of life, and in so doing, even to be able to help my children and to help just people in general. So this process of being who I am, it came from a dark place, but when light shone in, I am this woman now, and I am just happy to be me.
Wow, that's great. I want to ask you one question again, and I want to say that right now, is there anything you're struggling? Because for me, like I said, people say you're 11. I sleep freely, and trust me, I don't engage myself in anything that will make me have resentment and all that. I try very hard to make sure I free myself, because at this age, trust me, I want peace of mind. So now, I want you to set yourself. Is there anybody you're still holding that you're finding difficult, right? And this question is going to go to everybody. Let's be authentic to ourselves right now. And then, if you have anybody or anything that it's been, some people are even angry with God. You understand? They are really angry with God. Even those who understand who God is. Tell us, why?
Oh, there. In our life, there's always people that we'll get upset with and, angry. And I have been, going through some struggles in the last little while. And it's been hard to navigate. But one of the things that I keep remembering is that if I hold on to this pain, it's going to cripple me. So I put one foot in front of the other, because I'm human just like every one of you.
Of course.
So all I've been doing is putting one foot in front of the other. And I know eventually it's going to work itself out.
Oh, thank you for being sincere, my beautiful heroine.
So, seriously, I'm at a place where I don't hold any grudges. Again, it's for my mental health, for my mental wellness. And having said that, whether we like it or not, forgiveness is a personal journey. The way I'll do it is going to be different from the way you do it. It may take me time, but I know that I got to do what I got to do. So it's, what works for one person may not necessarily work for the other person. So for me, I'm at a place where I don't even give the opportunity for somebody to hurt me. There's no point. So, but if it does happen, I know how to brush it off. Again, people say, fool me once,
never
shame
again.
on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Thank you so much for saying that. Although I was there a long time ago, I'm still working in progress now. So, like we said also, the viewers, forgiveness to some people that are in the position where you have to be patient with them. They are processing. It takes time. They know they will forgive, but it's not going off. So we want to hear from you, Heroine Mokshi.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll just share the quick real life experience. You know what? When we go to a restaurant, just an example, and the cashier is taking long to process your payment, and you're feeling so frustrated. This is the time to forgive them. Maybe they have a bad day. Maybe they have some other issues. So there's the time that we have to really be forgiving.
Yeah.
We couldn't even forgive. We have to. We should forgive just for our peace of mind. Somebody who cuts us off on the road.
Road rage.
And you know what? Just for your own peace of mind, instead of ruining your mood, it's better to forgive them. So these are some real life experiences. That's what I would like to share with our audience, that we have to forgive just for your own peace of mind. Otherwise, you'll ruin your own day. You ruin your own mood. We have to move on, forgive, and live in peace.
So, Coach, do you have any word you want to give to our viewers before we round up?
So what I would like to leave you with today is that if you feel alone with whatever you're walking through, one of the things I would share with you that you can do, it's a practical tool that you can use. You can get a notebook or get a journal, and you could start acknowledging by writing down the things that are affecting you right now. You write them down, you pray if you pray. If not, you just, you do some meditation, you become quiet, and then you start remembering those things that are hurting you. You write it down, and then you begin to release it. So what I teach sometimes is I tell you, you can tear those pages out, you can burn them, you can soak them in water. You don't have to keep them. So you're releasing what's inside of your brain, inside of your head. And then, you just find time to come back to yourself and to let the things go. When you write it out, it takes the space from your mind to put it on paper. So you're free in your mind. And as you continue the journey, it is a journey. So keep writing, keep remembering. But as you do that, you let it go.
Thank you so much, Lady Abba. One word from you.
Wow, I love that. Write and then soak it away. That's so good. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hearing that for the first time. I want to say that healing from the past is a journey. It's not a destination. So it may take me a little bit more time, and that's okay. Be patient with yourself. But you know where you need to be. Seek support if you think you need it. And it's important to celebrate the little wins. If you're able to let something go, that just adds to your peace of mind and your whole self. So now you know that Deborah is a coach for forgiveness, which is wow. I doff my hat to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, my heroine. So I want to say that acknowledge your heart, let go of resentment, practice empathy, practice love, practice forgiveness, be compassionate to people. Understand that they don't understand what they are doing, as the Bible taught us, and if you need help, seek support. Share it, talk about it, empty it out. So I want to thank you, viewers, for joining us today. And don't forget to tune into YouTube at Black Community Canada Television, What the Heroine Show. If you have a question, drop it right there, and then we'll get back to you. Don't forget to share and like and subscribe. Thank you, heroines, for coming. God bless you all. Thank you. Don't forget to embrace the heroine and hero in you. Hey!